like what we bring to you on a regular, this episode is unique and new. It is CenterKick's exclusive chat. And I am your host, Akane James. On today's episode, I have an amazing guest. He is a FIFA licensed football agent, consultant, and advisor with a master's degree in business football. How are you doing today, Mr. Henry?
Hi, Jay. I'm doing good. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
It's so good to have your presence here and with us at CenterKick. It's such an honor. Let's just start from here. How does it feel to be back in Nigeria?
It's been amazing. There's nowhere like home. It's been great for me, renewing myself in the stress of Nigeria. But of course, the favorite meal, eating quality, wonderful meal I grew up with has been super amazing, and generally it's been good. I feel amazing. I really don't want to go back, but then
Business calls.
Business calls.
Speaking of favorite food, what would you say is your favorite food?
Okay. I think it's quite simple though for me. Plantain and egg, that very simple. But then when it comes to native soup, like in Akwa Ibom, I love fisherman soup.
Now you're talking, because you can get plantain almost anywhere. But
yeah, right. It's like so simple, but then sometimes you need
soup
the
is good.
native.
I love the soup aspect.
But
Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
Who was Henry growing up as a child?
Henry was simply a young lad with some aspirations. Just one who has passion for football, simply because I was bred to in a family who loved football.
Okay.
My home growing up is this one home in the community or in the streets where whenever it's like the AFCON tournament or the Champions League, the house where people gather to watch football, because we were privileged then to have the satellite or DSTV.
Okay.
And so I grew up with this hospitality, seeing my parents welcome people for the beautiful game of football, and I just had passion for football. So growing up, but then it was quite different because my dad would always bring in people to come watch football. But then when I play football on the streets, my mom would always spank my ass for playing football. So
why? So they were in a way encouraging you and discouraging you at the same time.
Yeah, because my dad would always ask me, how many goals did you score today? And I tell him where I scored, where I assisted, and the next thing like, oh, okay, go see your mom. And my mom's like, oh, you went to play football. It was always like that. But I think of course, my dad loved football and encouraged us to participate at one level in football. My mom also loved football, but I think she just wanted us to focus on education, not balancing it. So, but then it's life, and growing up, that was it, and yeah.
So aside from being interested in football as a kid, did you have other aspirations? Like it was regular to say that, oh, I want to be a doctor.
We all did that as a Nigerian kid. We always did that. I wanted to become a pilot because my dad used to work in the aviation ministry.
Okay.
May God bless his soul. He gave us that template, so I had always dreamt of becoming a pilot, and I was very good in geography in my secondary school. So that was the boost I needed in regards to my pursuit or my quest to becoming a pilot. But sadly, I lost my dad, and in regards to the finances to pursue that dream wasn't realistic, and I just had to. And plus, the Nigeria situation of any admission you see, you just go it. I ended up studying for a while, botany, plant science, in the university until I decided to transit into the IT field, which I did a diploma certificational course in information technology, and that's PET's way into me becoming an IT and media specialist, which still works with the same journey or gives birth to where I am right now.
Yeah.
So before becoming a FIFA licensed agent, I was strongly a media and IT personnel.
All right. So my condolences on
Thank you so much.
Yes. Let's talk about how it was for you transitioning from you studying botany in school, and then you went into ICT, and then you navigated finally. I would say finally, except the future ambition that you want to go out of football, but that transition from all of those phases, yes.
I think the transition has generally been guided by God with the help of the Holy Spirit. So it's always been one thing I always believe as a man of faith,
Yeah.
I always, seek what God's saying about me right now, and of course, know what's commit my ways and see what's ahead. So basically, in the field of plant science, I wasn't really doing best. I wasn't really excelling, and then I decided to proceed into IT, information technology, where I started learning a bit about what the world demands. How IT is playing a huge role in today's world. And I started, with learning some programming languages, developing websites, mobile apps, learning some digital marketing skills, learning some graphical skills, thereabouts, and I started making a name for myself in that region.
Okay.
And in 2018, I met with the president of a wonderful football club, Bandresa Football Club.
Yeah.
And that was the first meeting with him in 2018 and in 2019.
God bless the soul of that club.
Of course, in 2019,
On their demise.
he reached out to me in regards, bringing in my expertise into handling the media and the technological aspects of the football club in regards to communication, connecting with the fans, building an online presence, which super amazing for me. Was a platform that gave birth to the interest or rejuvenated the passion I had in football, as a kid. So I was also opportuned to, I was given the privilege to also be in some administrative meetings where key decisions were made. And that gave birth to a change of, going to learn more about how football business is being operated, managed, run, which led to me going to study my master's in football business at Christ Institute, because I need to learn how football business is being operated in the Western world as compared to how it is back here in Nigeria. And also while I went for the program, I learned a lot. We spoke about different topics, and if you had asked me proud to then, I was saying I'm going to come back becoming a football administrator, because I was looking at the likes of Amobi, who is currently
Ezekiel Amobi at Rangers.
And those are people I looked up to say, okay, if you can do this, I can do this. But then, while I was in Barcelona studying, I was opportune and privileged to meet with some wonderful set of footballers like Asisato Shoala, Rashida Ajibade. These individuals definitely redefined their scope for me. And when I was privileged and opportune to travel with Asisato Shoala for one of the CAF tournaments,
that was
where
2023.
she won.
Yes.
2023 she won the sixth time. Yes, where I was opportune to be with her, and we took a picture in that private jet.
I saw.
Basically, that picture was what defined things for me. And then she told me, Henry, I've seen you, I've interacted with you, I've spoken with you. I think you're unique. I think you can excel as an agent because you communicate well, you tend to manage and tend to keep valuable relationship. And that advice, and also with Assisat, with Ajibade also, proper guidance from both fantastic individuals inspired me to then take this interest of becoming a football agent to the next level. And then I had the privilege to intern across different agencies. I was able to intern at Unique Sports Group in Barcelona, Spain, focused really on men football, gave me wonderful insights about the management operations of how agencies should be operated, the on and off pitch services, and also the marketing agency TMJ, was strictly into women football. Gave me a different insight on the emotions and how to communicate with female athletes, learn generally about the business. And then with proper guidance by both agencies, I was able to register for the FIFA license exams, which I also wrote, and with working with also some fantastic individuals here in Nigeria, like Francis, Gaze F6, super amazing. We both studied for the exams, we wrote it. It was we thank God we came out amazing.
Successful,
and it's been just, what's next from there.
You actually said a lot. It will take a while to settle in. But because this is an interview, I would just like to proceed. You went ahead to answer some of my questions that I would have loved to ask. You answered the question of how you got to doing the course, the program. taking it more like a career. And then you also went into talking about how you've been able to handle the relationships that have come your way. Yes, I saw that picture of yourself and our all-time six-time
Charlie D.
yeah, she's amazing. I was super inspired by those photos. I mean, we look forward to days like that. But let's talk about more how you're able to handle the relationships, because I know that anything that has to do with football would demand that you're able to handle, go in between these emotions, and just be able to keep relationships professional. How have you been able to do that? And like you said, that time, that just that one time, that from that picture you said that maybe you sat with her at the private jet or in the private jet, it helped your career. How has those relationships? I just want you to reiterate, just talk a little bit more about it, because most times people think that, okay, so I don't need people, so I have gotten here and then I can do it by myself. But we know that it's not that, because for it to transit from one phase to the other, you have to be able to relate to people that I would say are higher than you in some way. So how have you been able to navigate that? How are you able to keep these relationships professional?
Yeah, just to start off with what you said, people who say they don't need people. I'm not sure that's, I don't know who doesn't need anyone in this life, because in as much as for myself being a Christian, I understand and believe that God sends men to help out, so keeping valuable relationship with these professionals is simple, amazing. I've been able to stay professional all through. Okay, know my limits, know my boundary, know what to ask, know what to help. And one thing you should know is, like, for example, these professional athletes are always busy. So what basically was a key for me, or what basically worked, or something unique for me, was that I was able to identify areas in their life where, because of that busy schedule, as an athlete, they needed assistance to fill in that void. That was what I was able to identify. And I was able to offer my services, offer my help, volunteer at some point to make sure that I help them become well all-rounded, a proper professional athlete as a person and also as an athlete, both on and off the pitch of play. So having these kind of, or doing or contributing to these kind of things, or would always keep you valuable and have a wonderful relationship with them. You just, of course, need to know your boundaries and know what to ask, what not to ask, what to say, what not to say, when to communicate, respect their privacy, and when they reach out to you, in as much as you're available, do well to, do whatever you need to do, or service you need to render.
So you've said a lot, but this is what I'm picking from what you said, right? Is identifying where a player, or not just the player, because I think it applies to
general.
Yeah, every aspect of life. Just identifying the key sector that, okay, so this person is struggling or has limitations, and how best you're able to provide your services.
Of course.
And then that's how you're going to be valuable.
Definitely. Everyone has the strength and everyone has the weakness. You just need to identify the weakness, Weakness, not weakness as per se weakness, or weakness as per se where this person is really not excelling, or where does this person have issues or struggling with, to see how you can help, complement, and build and help the person. Those kind of situations or scenarios make you valuable. And you just need to respect the fact and stay humble, level-headed, and that's it.
I would say, not just saying this because we're from Nigeria, right? But Africa in general, I am very certain there are like challenges. As for you as a football agent, how are you able to navigate these challenges? So what is the process like for you in meeting the player first, getting to identify this player? Let's talk about those that are starting out, not the ones that have done it professionally for a long time, like those that are starting out. How are you able to identify this player, and the process it takes through you identifying and then having to also be able to bring to the table, right, valuable clubs that align with what they want. So how do you navigate all of that?
There are different ways I tend to identify your scouts talent and make use of professional platforms for, of course, players, let's say, who has played in the national level, either U17 or U20 or the national team. You have your data available on scouting platform, like Y Scouts, a big powerhouse when it comes to making data-driven decisions or checking out the performance of an athlete. You know, with players who have made that kind of level, you can easily get that data, get that video, and when there's a request from a football club matching a particular description, you can easily say, I have this athlete, this is the data, this is the video, this is the CV, and you share. But then when you look at athletes who has not made that caliber yet, who hasn't made national team appearance, so there's no way you can scout them digitally. I often get to work with local scouts and coaches in the region. Of course, it still falls down to you having a good relationship with the scouts and having a good relationship with the coach, and of course having an understanding of how the business model, you know, would be. And with that, you get some referrals from coaches, you get referrals from scouts, identifying talents, and then sending the profiles over to me, and I get to analyze and I get to evaluate, and if the profile, you know, meets my demand, I tend to have a session with the player. That's the first approach to communicate with the player, to basically understand the player's mindsets, mentality, know who the person is, because at the end of the day, character is key. A good player with a bad character will not go anywhere, which we all know. So having...
So, but wait, what about a bad player with a good character? Yeah.
A bad player with a good character can still excel, maybe not on the pitch, but off the pitch.
Okay.
You know, it's character is it's everything at the end of the day. You know, so then once I evaluate the player and you're good to go, of course I rebrand. Branding is key, so you have to rebrand the athletes. You know, rebrand the athletes' content, create good, presentable materials that can then be offered or dished out to football clubs.
So how do you navigate the challenges between, so now you've identified your talent, the problems of, let's say, cultural differences. For example, we have many cultures in Nigeria. You are, which culture are you?
From Delta Igbo.
Igbo, right? And then let's say you're scouting and then you meet a player that is, let's say, Hausa.
Okay.
That's just a scenario. How do you navigate those cultural differences?
I think football is a global language. Football doesn't respect where you're from. You know, I don't consider that. I don't really look at a bit of the background, nor of categorizing, categorizing or making selection based on where you're from. No, football is a universal one, perfect language. Football is a language. You understand football as a language. If I communicate and you're not good in English, I can communicate to you in Pidgin. If you still don't understand Pidgin, then if you're Hausa, I will look for an Hausa translator to communicate with you, you know. That's basically the most beautiful thing about football. Once you have the talent, you're ready to go. You believe in me as an agent, we can co-work and make your dream become a reality.
That's very great. So, but you've, over the years, it's more than a year, so it's fit to say over the years, you've identified talents, you've concluded on their transfers and all of that. What would you say, just share some, or even if it's one, which of the transfer would you say was most dearing to your heart? You know, everybody say, okay, so there are some that happens so easily, and there are some that all of it takes grace, right? The grace of God. We know that factor, but which would you say is most near to your heart or dear to your heart?
I think two major transfers are so dear to my heart, because looking at these players, where they are coming from, you know, Shukrat Oladipo to AS Roma was one I was so happy.
She was formerly playing at.
She was formerly playing at Robo FC.
Okay, yeah.
In Lagos. She also happened to play in the U20 World Cup, the last U20 World Cup, 2023, 2024. Sorry, in Colombia. She's an amazing player, an amazing person. Her personality first.
The character.
Yeah. And shockingly, I was referred to Shukrat Oladipo firstly by Asisato Shoala.
Oh, of course.
So that's just the beauty.
Beautiful,
and when I spoke to her, I understand as a person, how humble she is, how loyal she can be, and how committed, you know, she is to her craft. I understood her background, where she's coming from. And I felt, of course, you have the talent and it's possible for you to make a name of your family, you can become the shining light. And deal to AS Roma was just, a testament of what hard work, of what discipline, of what obedience can do. And also, in that talent, I would always talk about is Motuayo Ezekiel, a super amazing person. She calls me big manager every time. It's just super, so Shukurat is the calm, reserved, hi. Right, Motuayo is the big manager.
The hyper.
The hyper. Yeah, she's the hyper. She's super amazing. She used to play in Nigeria. There's an amazing football club in Nigeria, just as Robo is. And she was we were able, that's my colleague, myself, and the agency where I intern with the marketing agency. I was able to get a deal in Valencia across both deals was done with TMJ, the marketing agency, a fantastic brand that believe a lot in African athletes, and I'm privileged to be there to identify the talent to get these deals for them. So I think those 2 days were basically the one very close, very but they're not even very close that day. It's like, you understand.
All right. You had said this before. The key factors you would consider in identifying, you did talk about the character parts.
Vale.
Yes, not just being good at your crafts, but also the character, your person. But aside from that, because Nigeria is big, right? How are you able to? Because I feel that it's going to be limited. Not every player has the opportunity to play or represent the nation. We suffer a lot as a nation because the scouting process are not really in place. Even though they're in place, they're not sufficient to cater for the talents that we have. What would you say are the modalities, if you had a chance, that you would put in place that would better cope this deficiency in scouting this talent in the first place?
There are a lot of things that can be done in regards to setting up a structure. That's what we simply need. A better structure for talent identification. These can simply be done by, of course, following up or participating in league games or amateur tournaments that are readily available in regards to video content being available now. And also, simply what we can simply do is to subscribe to a big data company like White Scouts, where they have platforms or technologies.
So when you say we, who are you implying?
Okay, that's whosoever we, in regards to what we can do or what I can do in regards to shove off this gap we have in identifying talent. So I think those in authority, those in authority, can simply make all games available in regards to video demands, and then subscribe to an analytic platform, where these videos can be analyzed into big data and we can start. And with that, it's very easy for coaches to follow up with these athletes, not just follow up with them watching the video, identify them, and have data, key data that would back up making their decisions. Okay, so I think if we can put that in place, your major tournaments, and these tournaments are being recorded, and these videos are being transcribed or processed through a data processing software. This basically would help scouting super amazing because really what scouts can't really see with the eye on the pitch of play. Big data can give you decent numbers, and also making use of some technologies like the GPS tracker or GPS Best. These are proven track records. They simply give you what you need in regards to a player. So there might be a player who has a 100% work rate, but not a big name. But for example, when Leicester City signed Kante had the work rate, had everything, but was not a big name. And when it came to Leicester City, dominated, and then he went to Chelsea. That's what big data can do. It can make you identify those players who are doing the dirty work, who are amazing, but don't have the big name. And that's why I think those in authority should really look at investing into big data as is key in decision making for coaches, for agents in making decisions in negotiation, and also for content creation. It is.
So I think at this point, aspiring football agents will be like, you've been talking about footballers. When it comes to a direction. So let's dive into talking about football agents, aspiring football agents. What would you say if somebody is coming to you, like in summary, maybe in 3 steps or 4 steps? What would you say are the go-to process of maybe starting out as a football agent?
The first thing you need a passion connector and a passion driver, which basically is your passion and your love for the game.
Yeah.
That's what you need to move yourself. That's the first step. The second step I would always say or advise is for you to intern or volunteer to learn more about the business. Like I said before, I wrote the exams. I interned 2 different agencies. It just gave me different scope understanding of the business. So the second phase would be for you to intern, and the third phase would be for you to register for the exams, agents.fifa.com. Register, study for the exams, pass the exams, you get the license, and that's it. Once you have the license with your experience doing your internship, it guides you to, starting a career or a pathway for yourself.
You are a big advocate for learning, continuous learning, not just learning. So you don't just learn and stop, you continually learn. Give us insight into your time at Johan. Just call me because
Johan.
Okay. Oh, it's not even the English. Don't worry, just say it. Yeah. Okay,
it's not at the Johan Cruyff Institute.
Yeah. Say it again.
Johan Cruyff. Johan
Cruyff. I think I got that one in my head. No, I didn't say it though, but yeah.
Johan
Give us
Cruyff.
an insight into your time there. Yeah.
It was an amazing time for me at the Johan Cruyff Institute. It basically was a life-defining moment for me. The program was simply amazing. The lecturers were simply amazing. The case trip study was the best for me. And that was what I started in creating my brand.
Okay.
You go through my Instagram, you see I visit a lot of stadiums.
Yeah,
those were the case study trips.
Yeah, you guys went to lots of museums.
Yeah, museums. Because when you go to visit stadiums, you visit the museum, visit the store. You have a tour around the stadium, and stuff like that. So, it was a key defining moment for me, and I would of course always encourage anyone to invest in themselves, to study when you can, to learn, to grow. And again, that key thing was the connections you would of course get, learning from industry experts, and also having the privilege to connect with them, to communicate with them. You get advices that are not paid for. You get advices that would also cost you if you have to consult for those services, but then you get them for free, and it's just a great platform for growth, a great platform for the next step for you to take in your career. So it was simply amazing.
So how do people get to not necessarily that particular institute, but how do people get to connect or just have admissions into institute like that?
There are a lot of other institutes that offer similar programs on football business, sport management. For example, FIFA also have its institute. La Liga also have its institute. Real Madrid also have its institute. And some other private or government-owned institutes that offer similar programs like that. So there's a lot of them. You just simply need to pick up your phone and Google. Depends on, of course, the country where you want to go to.
Would you say there are scholarship opportunities for courses like that?
Oh, yes, there are. There are scholarship opportunities for courses like that. There is. Also, sometimes they have grants available.
Okay.
For programs like that. So depending on the school, depending on what they have available, you do well to make your due diligence and also contact the school, have a session with them, make inquiries, and
You visited quite a numbers of football club homes, Arsenal, Chelsea, Barcelona, Athletic Club, Real Sociedad, Real Madrid, lots of them. But what that stood out for me was, I just want to ask, it's a honest question. Are you a fan of Thierry Henry? Because when you went to Arsenal, there was that picture of you that you were like... From that what is that center called again? That space where it's just for like big names and all of that.
Yeah, where we had the legends and
and then of all the persons that you pointed to, It was
Thierry
Thierry
Henry.
Henry.
Okay, so
You're a big fan.
I did, not just Thierry Henry, I think there were two. Thierry Henry and
The
Papillo.
other was
The
different.
guy I did like this was Papillo, but yeah, because Thierry had the
Yeah,
start
I saw
there.
Papillo,
Yeah, because Thierry had the start, so they had to do that. And yes, I'm a big fan of Thierry Henry because my late dad loved Thierry Henry and Samuel Eto'o.
Okay.
You know, so of course growing up I was okay, I'm currently a Liverpool fan, or as an agent, you're not really club supporter. So I love to follow Liverpool, I love that style of play, and etc. I'm proud to know when I was much younger, I was an Arsenal fan because of Thierry Henry. Okay. You know.
Which club do you fan?
Right now?
Yes.
Say I prefer Liverpool.
Oh my goodness.
You never watched it, right?
I think I'll be fine after now. I do Barcelona and Chelsea because they're like two different, they're in different leagues. One is in La Liga because of Messi. I grew up. Chelsea? Yeah, Chelsea. I am always disappointed. The women console me.
Of course, no, the women do. Chelsea women, super.
They are the only reason why I'm still hanging on to that club. If
right?
I'll be gone.
Yeah. So yes, I'm a big fan of Thierry Henry and also a big fan of Kanu Nwankwo, who's just a legend of Arsenal.
But the first time you went to one of the stadiums, like the first time you entered that stadium, it will be a dream come true for a normal Nigeria to just have the access to. Okay, so I'm sitting down watching my favorite club play. What was it like for you? How did you feel the first time you had access to any of those stadiums?
Hi, it was a platform given to me by, I call him my dad, Mr. Joe Udofia, the owner of Manchester Football Club. He gave me this platform for free, gave me this experience for free. And I was opportune. I think the very first game I saw was Chelsea against Southampton. I can't really collect the year, but it was fantastic. And not just the feeling or the experience, it was a VIP series.
That was 2023.
Oh, man, you will know the year, man.
I checked. Okay. Yeah, 2023.
It was a VIP series because then he had the box office hospitality subscribed in Chelsea. So the experience was super amazing. Of course, not being a Chelsea fan, but that day, come on Blues, give me the chicken. Come on Blues, give me the wine, you know. It was nice, the experience from the box suits to going out to the main bowl to see the game, and all was super fantastic. But I noticed that the Chelsea stadium is a bit old. You know, you could see what the camera will not show you. Yeah, understand that. You could see that. So for me, the first experience was super amazing, and I loved it. Followed up that with a game to watch Tottenham versus Man U, and that also was super amazing. Tottenham Stadium was a bit modern. Yeah, so with the warmer on the seats, it was real cold, but then with the warmer on the seats, you feel warm. It was nice. I saw Ronaldo live. I was like, that is it. You know. So generally, it was amazing, and all this platform was given to me by, of course, none other than the great man, Mr. Joe Udofia.
That's cool, but let's digress. In February, there was the movement, the Stop Cyberbullying thingy that you did, and then you had this open mind dialogue with Gift Monday. She shared her experience. What inspired that movement for you?
Yes, because I remember that period. Clearly, there was a lot of bullying online because of sport athletes. I think in particular Alex Iwobi. After the tournament with the Super Eagles and etc. At the point, I think I gave my opinion or view of it, but then, of course, as an agent, I know what it is to protect athletes, you know, to make them feel comfortable, make them feel safe. And of course, on my WhatsApp, when I gave my opinion, of course, I had Monday Gift in it. She viewed, she didn't say anything. Later, I messaged her. Said, okay, I know I gave my opinion, you know, but I think I want stories to be heard. I think we can create a campaign of this. And then luckily for me, you know, she said all she said. She gave me what she went through and how she went through them and the processes through them, and how Assistant Oshoala played a wonderful role, you know, in keeping her mentally in check and etc. And I thought that's a wonderful story, and also a campaign to reach out to other athletes, younger athletes, and for them to always learn, because cyberbullying is a thing of hate. You know, it shouldn't exist in our community. You know, it's a family of racism. You know, we shouldn't condone such activities, and as far as a platform to educate, to help, and of course, which I did. Like I said, athletes first. You have to preserve the athletes. You have to make sure they are okay, and yeah, basically.
But I think that we expect so much. Sometimes we feel like athletes are not human beings. Yes, they have one good game today. Football most times is unpredictable. Today there's the good game, and then tomorrow maybe something happens. And then the worst is, I think it happens in other places too, but in Nigeria, they could disqualify all of your goodness in just one game. Maybe few seconds of just one bad moment. Then everybody says that you are the worst thing that has happened after, sliced bread. I think I managed sliced bread, but maybe it's not bent.
But then that isn't football. You just can't discard all the good deeds because of one bad day at the office. They are humans. You know, they play as superhumans, but they are not robots. Okay, so it's there's every tendency that today they have a great game. Tomorrow they have not a worse game, not a bad game, but just a
few
less
seconds of
of that. And I feel, or I believe, or I assume and advise not to discourage, or these kind of things affect the players because they're humans. They have emotions. They feel, so you keep supporting them, you keep believing in them, you keep helping, you keep promoting the good news. When life has to do with up and down, win and lose, life is never free of all those, but the idea is at the end of the day, you keep your head up high, you bounce back, which is the mentality, so I think we should always give that support in regards to the emotional aspect of the athletes, giving them that support, let them know, bad day, I'm paying as a fan, as a supporter, I'm paying, but
some people
I understand because even when we look at our life ourselves, when we look at our criteria ourselves, do we perform at maximum level every day at our workspace? We don't, but we get paid for it. Some of the athletes get paid for it, so I think, that's it. No one is perfect.
Yeah. So in a bit to bring it home, we're here courtesy of CenterKick.
Vale.
Yes. So let's talk about CenterKick. So what are your thoughts on the platform role as CenterKick in covering? What do you think we bring to the table as an ardent supporter? Yes.
Yeah. I think the idea behind CenterKick, it's just one creative, brilliant mindset. I can see the gap you guys are covering in regards to creating awareness about football, local football, of course, professional football across all gender, male and female. It's super amazing. It's a brand I would always want to recommend, and I look forward to amazing projects, amazing insights, amazing trends of what is coming out of CenterKick. A few days ago, I had a meeting with part of the board owners, the director of the meeting, and when I was shown the next phase of CenterKick, I was wowed. It was a jaw-dropping moment for me, and so definitely I would put in my support, my time, my availability to make sure that this platform grows. I see CenterKick as a global brand, originating from Nigeria to the world. Definitely we get there. It's a long-term vision. It definitely will happen.
Yeah, so we do a lot in CenterKick, but which would you say, if you were to pick a favorite, which aspect of what we do resonates most with you?
As an agent, of course, I would want to go regard to the content creation and but then I always consume your content to all the weekend reviews.
Okay.
So I think the two AJs, right?
I think, just let me clap for AJ.
Yes, AJ.
Yeah.
I always consume the weekend review content. It keeps me updated with what's happening in Nigerian football. It keeps me super updated. That's where most times I don't really follow up live with the activities.
But at least the reviews.
At the end of the day, I would get the post-match content. I would consume this content on CenterKick's platform, which basically works for me.
All right. So just before we go, when they say, okay, so it's the last, and then they say, okay, there's the least, and then there's the last. Not a question kind of, but give us, if you are given the opportunity I think I would not want to do the professional ones because these ones have had their career up already. If you were to sign players to make your starting 11, let's say you have a team, you have a club. Give us the players you would sign from any of the leagues, as long as they're not. Let's take out those that are participating already in Super Eagle and Super Falcons. Yes. So give us your starting 11 if you were going to sign. So, and what's your best formation?
I'll go with the 4-3-3.
Okay.
Play with the false 9.
Oh.
Get present.
Okay. So please.
You are in club.
Give us. I'm already a fan of that. I can see the future in that team. Give us.
Okay, so talking about local players, right? Local players.
Yes. That you're yet to sign.
That I'm yet to sign. Okay.
Numerous of them have participated in the under 17, under 20. Just those ones.
Okay. So I might have some
just in
challenges
case,
with the full name.
Yeah, just in case you won't have subs, is okay, but at least the starting 11.
Alright, Bale. Okay. In goalpost, I will go with Obia. Yeah, she was in Armenia, but currently she trains with Abia Angels.
Okay.
Christiana, I think so. Yeah, might be sure the name. And as a backup goalkeeper,
okay,
I would have the name sometimes can be hard to pronounce. What's her name?
Spell it. I think they can help you.
She kept with the U20 Ominaya.
Don't worry, I can't help you. Just
something like that.
Let's stick to what you have to say.
Okay, so I'll go in left back.
Okay, left back.
And left back. So I have this dynamic player who plays. She can play left back and also center back, but I'll put her in left back. That would be. She plays for Niger Rattles.
Okay.
Bumi. Her name is Bumi. She plays for Niger Rattles. In center back, I would have Esther.
Okay.
Esther plays for Nasara Amazon.
Okay, Nasara.
Yeah.
That club have they been struggling?
Nasara Amazon? No.
They haven't. No, they're not Benue Queens.
No, they're not Benue Queens.
Yeah, it's true.
So to pair up with Esther in center back, I would go with that not been signed by me, of course.
Yeah.
That plays local also plays foreign.
Yeah, but as long as they're not in the Super Falcons team, yes.
Okay, even U20 works.
Yeah, it works.
Okay,
works.
And has not been signed by me.
Yeah.
The Shukrat has been signed by me, so no Shukrat. I'll put Uroko Valentina.
Oh.
Uroko, she plays for Edo Queens.
Solid. The Rock.
In right back, of course, I would have said I will go with Miracle, but Miracle works with me, Usami. Okay. She was listed as 18th best young player in the world. But she works with me, so I won't go with Miracle.
Okay.
I would go with...
That's quite impressive, by the way.
Yeah.
Miracle, I'm clapping for you. Well done, yeah.
I'll go with Debbie. She also plays in Edo Queens.
Okay.
Yeah, Deborah.
They have quite strong hands in Edo Queens.
Yes, they do. Fantastic squad, fantastic players.
So we have 4 already. Yeah.
So in midfield, I will go with Shobowale. Okay. She plays for Nasara Amazon.
Okay.
Cheerleader.
Okay.
Fantastic player. Shobowale. In defenders, also going with Alanio.
She can go for herself, yeah.
She can go for herself.
She can go for herself, yeah. So far.
No, she's already signed with me, so
okay.
So I have Shobowale in midfield. I have Esther Inyang, plays for Edo Queens.
That's an acquired person.
Yeah, super amazing. Super amazing. I have her in midfield. Then also, who would I put in midfield again? Trying to think through. Okay, I think I can put Etim Essien. Right now she plays for midfield. She plays as an attacker in the CAF tournament for Edo Queens. Then I think up front I would have Chidi Harmony.
Yeah, that
I have Chidi
that
Harmony.
lady.
Yeah, I would have
She does so much.
Peace F Young.
Okay.
Peace F Young. And I would have Bolaji. Olamide Bolaji
Remo
who plays for Remo
Stars.
Stars.
Yeah,
Up
that
front.
the highest goal
Right
scorer
now.
in the
Yeah,
NWFL.
yeah. Then in my reserve, I would have my young talent, Moshood Shakirat.
Yeah, Moshood.
Even if she'll be in reserve, but she'll still play the games well. She'll always come in well.
Yeah.
Moshood Shakirat, so fantastic human being.
Yeah.
Humble, very good to work with. I have Moshood. I have Moshood. I will have Anna Ibrahim for Remo Stars.
Okay.
Fantastic defender. I would have her there on the bench. I would also have Moses Choma Moses,
Okay.
who also plays for Edo Queens. I will have her on my bench. Can I have more players on the starting 11? But then I would have Osigwe Goodness.
Yeah, because I was waiting. Like, how can you not mention
okay,
her?
so I would switch Osigwe Goodness to start, and Chidi would come in, or Peace F Young will switch. I would have Osigwe Goodness. I would also have Destiny. Yeah, Destiny plays for Delta Queens. Amazing player. And also Kafayat Bashiru, who also plays for Remo ladies.
Remo Stars.
Yeah, Remo Stars.
Like Remo Stars.
Yeah, about the bench.
So that is it.
A lot of talents, at least I try to keep in touch and make sure everyone is okay.
You know, I was actually thinking that maybe at some point we're like, okay, so I'm not, but you have those information, so
it was a bit hard, but you just have to think through and making decisions. Yeah, but then don't forget to put my young babies, please. Chidi Harmony and Moshood and Anna. Super fantastic. Go vote for these athletes and push for success. Let's see how it goes. Give them the support they need.
It was so good to be on this couch. Is this a couch or six? Whatever this is. It was so good to have you here.
Same here, AJ. Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure.
It felt like we have been talking for like years. It wasn't hard.
Right? Yeah.
As I expected, but I mean, it's all kudos to you. You made it this beautiful. Thank you so much
I didn't do anything.
for coming on board and for granting us your presence. Let me do like your hyper hashtag.
Okay, my hyper Motuayo.
Yeah. How do they say it in your language? I think your language would be better. Like boss.
Okay. You don't catch me. You don't catch me.
Chai.
Yeah.
I think it was voice, but I can't vindicate myself. I'm good. I know my language. So it's so good to be here with you. What do you say to our listeners and our followers?
Basically just keep subscribing, supporting, consuming content on CenterKick. It's an amazing platform. I'm glad to be here. And I'm rooting for the success of the amazing projects coming onto CenterKick. So tell your friends, tell your family members, tell everyone to subscribe and witness the growth of this amazing platform from Nigeria.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us for today's episode. This is like our maiden episode of CenterKick's exclusive chat. And we were so happy to bring this your way. Please do not forget to follow us across all our social media handles. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much. I remain your host, Akaning James. And it was nice chatting with Mr. Henry. Bye. See you.